Hey, I found it! In case you're interested, DE Austria is based in the village of Hallstatt, and just like Counter-Strike, it's known for salt production. Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you. DE Austria is the most important thing to come out of Austria since Arnold Schwarzenegger and World War I. Austria is the newest map entered into the competitive map pool. This video is to teach you the basics of the map, as well as some tips and tricks you might not have known. The map follows a classic 4-square setup like Dust 2, Cache, or Mirage, the gimmick being that mid is a narrow indoor section, and both of the sites are more wide open. CT side. You can break the map down into 3 choke points: cross B, long A, and left side mid. My suggestion is to have 2 dedicated B players, 1 indoors player who can rotate to balcony, 1 underpass player who can help with indoors and A, and 1 dedicated A site player. Let's talk about op positions. It's so hard to do that double P without clicking the mic. The obvious one is in the A site. If you play the site box, you can hold the long A angle, as well as shift attention to the underpass if the terrorists are pushing through. CTs get to this angle first. You can also play far back in this corner. The site box will prevent players underpass from checking your position until they get all the way out into the site, and you can use the corner to set up an off angle. Ops are also very effective from CT spawn to B. First, you have this long angle watching cross. Players have to cross here to take B. Then, an alternate angle for players going short B, and a different angle to watch short B and site. I'd say you'll get smoked out here, but I don't think enough people take this map seriously to learn the smokes, and the smokes are stupidly unreliable, so this is going to be a strong position. The windows on B apartments are wall bangable, and this window on the right looks down a long hallway. If you get smoked out, this is the perfect place to shoot. Once the terrorists have the site and you're waiting for a retake, you can wall bang the hut. Check out these 3 angles. They take out all of the common positions inside of hut. The danger to opping here is if terrorists take indoors. They can push you and you won't have cover, and they'll have a close angle. It's also very easy to flash you here. For holding off B site, there really isn't a reason to have a player in sight if the terrorists haven't gone by cross yet, so it makes sense to stand here and help with cross. You'll get to this position about 3 seconds before the terrorists get there. Then, if smokes start flying or someone gets by, it's time to reposition and Molotov or smoke out B apartments. During that time, your player indoors can also rotate to balcony. Unless they specifically smoke off balcony or push indoors, this player is going to be able to hold off everything. Normally though, this player is probably going to want to hold the indoors angle and rotate to balcony if needed. Alternatively, if you push through the B apartments, you can get a nice angle on this deck and potentially get an opening pick. It's also really easy to fall back from this position. Inside of A site, there's a lot of really cheap corner positions, a lot of surprise angles that can catch the enemy off guard. They're high risk, high reward. Alternatively, you can smoke off long A and push up closer to watch indoors. As you're running to A site, jump into the side of this tree, aim at the cross, and then move your crosshair up until you're in line with the first branch, and then throw. It'll block off A. But the terrorists can flash over and run through this smoke on the far side. The far side is not visible from long A. I cannot overstate the importance of this one single hallway. Terrorists need this hallway unless they're gonna just rush B, do not stop. And you can use this against them, but don't let them separate you from your teammates. If they smoke mid, for example, the underpass player should probably fall back. It'd sure be great if this hallway wasn't so cramped and boring, since a lot of the fighting's gonna happen here. T-side. For B, there are 2 obvious places to smoke: bridge and creek. This nullifies that op position I talked about earlier. You can use a Molotov or smoke on balcony as well. Listen, as I touched on, smokes on this map are stupid. One thing I'd really wish map makers would factor into their design is nade throws, for crying out loud. This map is not designed for smoke throws. Please let me know if you find a good way to throw these without using jump throw binds, of course. Binds are banned in certain leagues. I guess they're not into bondage. Should I cut that? I'm gonna leave it in. All right, for the bridge smoke, you wanna hit this red rafter here. It'll bounce perfectly into position. I stand underneath this thing, I duck down, and then I aim at the trees. This blocks off the bridge, but look, it doesn't block off that close angle. You can throw another smoke if you want to allow your team to cross over to B side. But I think it makes more sense to also take this lane into B side. This next smoke is stupid. Please let me know if you find a good way to throw it, because I've been just running out here, looking at the window, looking at this point, and then doing a standing throw. It does the smoke, but again, I'm standing out in the open. This requires you to do the bridge smoke. What if you just want to smoke to cross into the apartments, but you still want the other smoke down? How do you smoke it? Smoking balcony is also stupid. So stupid, I recommend Molotoving it and then smoking into the Molotov later so the smoke stays put. To Molotov it, stand close to the angle, start running, and let go when you're aiming at the top of the roof. If it doesn't hit this small white strip on the wall, it will fail. From every other angle, smoking balcony is pretty obvious. When you're clearing B, always remember to wallbang this corner and hut, and wallbang above ladder. If the enemy has balcony, you can safe plant in the corner here to the right of the apartments. I think a great spot for after plant is at this tree. You can watch the spot from apartments, cross, balcony. Over on A site, you might want to take a tiered approach. Smoking close to the site allows your team to clear indoors, giving you access to underpass as well, and crossing that angle where the opper's holding. Here's one way I figured out how to do the smoke. Stand at the center of this pillar. Aim up from the side of the house until you're at the same height as the center of the sun. If you want to get a sneaky bomb plant, you can plant inside of this smoke. The bomb site extends to the center of the first box. If you plant here, you don't even have to clear the site. You can just watch this from long A. One thing you gotta do when taking this site is smoke to prevent rotators. Once again, because of the retardedly uneven ground, even this simple smoke becomes a pain in the ass. And even when done right, the smoke isn't good enough. Players can jump up onto the box and look over it, so watch out for that. No matter how far back you smoke, the terrorists can jump up and look around it. Hey, I found a little window here that lets you flash the site. This could be pretty useful for retanks. I found that using a medium throw by holding both mouse buttons down is a better way to throw here. Remember what I said about this hallway. It's important. One thing you can do is smoke off mid. This works well if you've already smoked close to A site. This is a good early game play to get some good position. Mid is a really difficult hallway to take. To flash, you can aim at the rafters on either side, but the enemy will hear it bounce. You can also bank a Molotov into his position to push him back into the next room. Once your team starts a bomb site take, you can leave a lurk here at mid to kill the rotators. And getting a terrorist into balcony makes after plant B really easy. So that's how to play Austria. It's in the competitive map pool for matchmaking. So I guess you gotta learn it? Next week, our CS Office guide. Ugh. Just kidding, please don't expect that video. That's like me saying, oh, the next video is gonna be Call of Duty. Thanks for watching, I'm TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer. Quick, to the escape raft. Oh no! Wait a minute. There's water physics in Counter-Strike?